Hi friends, it's Miss Mahan. Today we are on Unit 7, Lesson 2. Our learning target, I can use a formula to find the area of a rectangle. So if you remember from the other day, the formula for area is length times width. The L stands for length and the W stands for width. I'm going to show you a couple things about how to work this out and then what your answer will look like when you find the area, because it's a little different than perimeter. We need to add something else to it besides just the unit of measurement. So let's say we have this rectangle with a width of 4 and a length of 5. So our formula says we're multiplying length times width. Oh, and we need, let's say that we are doing yards. YD stands for yards. So the length is 5 and the width is 4. 5 times 4 equals 20. We put our unit of measurement next, and then we're going to put this symbol up here. This little 2 means squared. That means that we have multiplied these numbers together, and so if we need to cover this with anything, then we have to square it. So you can also write it out like this, 20 square yards. If you don't like the way the little 2 looks. When you're older, you'll have to use the little 2, but I will allow either way. I will probably use the little 2 to show my answer. Now let's go on to find the area of some of these rectangles. Find the area of the rectangle. Remember, area is length times width. So here's where we're starting. 11 times 7. So I'm going to go ahead and make this equation vertical. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 1 is 7. So 77. The measurement comes next, so centimeters, and then squared. You can also write it like this. 77 square centimeters. Okay, let's go to this one next. We have a length of 35 and a width of 32. 2 times 5 is 10, carry your 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Now remember, when we start multiplying from this side, that we need a placeholder like a 0, because we're starting to multiply from the tens place, not the ones place. 3 times 5 is 15, carry your 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Now we'll add these together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 7 plus 5 is 12, carry your 1. 1 plus 0 is 1, and then 1. So our answer is 1,120. Next is our unit of measurement. In this case, it's millimeters squared. Okay, these next two are whole or mixed numbers. So there's like an extra couple of steps that we have to do. So we have a length of 8 feet and a width of 5.5 feet. I'm going to go ahead and write my equation horizontally this time. So what we can do is we can multiply our whole numbers. So 5 times 8 is 40. When we multiply a fraction and a whole number, because we have to multiply the half times 8, the 8 is kind of like this, 8 over 1. So now we can multiply the fraction. We have 1 times 8 is 8. and for our denominator, we have 2 times 1, which is 2. Okay, this is called an improper fraction when the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So we have to do some steps in order to get this to a better mixed number. So the 8 is kind of like we're dividing 8 by 2. How many times will 2 go into 8? 4. So instead of 8 halves, we have 4. So we're going to add 40 and 4. That creates 44. Our unit of measurement is feet squared. Okay, this next one, we're going to do all those same steps that we just did for this one. 4 and 2/8 times 9. Whoops. Multiply our whole numbers first, so 4 times 9 equals 36. 9 as a whole number is the same as 9 over 1, so when we multiply the fraction, we can actually do it. So 2 times 9 is 18, and 8 times 1 is 8. We have an improper fraction, so we need to change that into a regular fraction. So we'll put 18 divided by 8. How many times will 8 go into 18? 2 times, which equals 16. So we're left with 2. So we're going to add this 2 that we have to 36, which gives us 38. And we have 2 left, and that's going to go over our 8. We are almost done. This fraction can be reduced down smaller because 2 and 8 are both even numbers. So let's divide both of these by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So our answer is 38 1/4 inches squared. Okay, next we have a word problem. You are helping install carpet in a rectangular room that is 10 feet long and 9 feet wide. How many square feet of carpet do you need? Let's sketch out a rectangle real quick. 10 feet long and 9 feet wide. We don't have any fractions, so we can make our equation vertical. 9 times 0 is 0, and 9 times 1 is 9. Our unit of measurement, feet, and then squared. The last problem is a lot like the one that we did for perimeter. They only gave us one of the measurements, so we have to figure out which the second part is. Our problem reads, a designer creates a rectangular ad. It is 1.5 centimeters longer than the width. What is the area? So we have a width of 7, and we know that the length is 1.5 longer than 7. So what does that equal? 8.5. So now we need to figure out the area. When we have mixed numbers, I really like for the equation to be horizontal. That just helps me keep everything a little bit more organized. So we have 8.5 times 7. Multiply our whole numbers first. 8 times 7 is 56. Oops. 7 is the same as 7 over 1. So when we multiply our fraction, 1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 1 is 2. So we have 56 and 7 halves. That's an improper fraction, so we need to do a couple more steps to get it to where it's a real fraction. 7 divided by 2. 2 will go into 7 3 times, and that'll be 6. So we're left with one more. So we're adding 3 56 plus 3 is 59, and we have 1/2 left. Add our unit of measurement squared. Okay, now you will have problems exactly like these, plus a couple options for IXL if you want some more practice. So good luck, have fun.